Sorry.
That's all right, I'm just going to have to wing it. This could be entertaining. So I'm here this afternoon to tell you about intrigue and opportunity at Sandwich Flats. And my high-tech PowerPoint is going to try and feed me. So I've been working with Citizen just the other week. Was it Lara? Yes, it seems like time has flown since then. We've been working at Sandwich Flats. Lots of intrigue and opportunities there that have already happened, and possibilities for you all to perhaps be involved in the not too distant future. So, setting the scene, isn't this beautiful? This is how I often see Sandwich Flats. Dawn, it's gorgeous, you won't worry about the temperature. For some strange reason, low tide, when it's perfect time for us to work, is always at dawn at Sandwich Flats. It's just one of those things, and it's always in February or March, when the weather's not really so reliable. So, but fortunately, over 5 seasons over the last 3 years, we've managed to forge a really loyal and slightly crazy team of volunteers who are keen to come and work with us on this amazing site, no matter what the weather is or the early morning start time that we have. So keep this picture in mind as you see future images. Don't forget that one. Okay, so just to set the scene, this is where Sandwich is. Lara already kind of gave you an idea. It's on the East Kent coast. And if we weren't being diligent archaeologists looking at the ground, we would probably be able to see France on a good day. But we're looking at the ground for all of the wonderful things we're going to find. And I don't know if you can see, but there's quite a large stretch of intertidal zone there. This is taken at high tide, but lots of lovely beach for us to work on. So archaeological sites, the best ones are sometimes usually found by accident. If you find a shipwreck, it's because a fisherman has just dragged up, that's really annoying, sorry. The fishermen have dragged up some remains in their fishing nets. You find a shipwreck, you get a big beach erosion, and suddenly you found a submerged forest, or you just crash your friend's field work, which is what happened to me. I went to my friend Sally's MSDS Marine fieldwork at Sandwich Flats. She was going to look at shipwrecks at low tide, count fish at high tide. Sounds like a bit of fun. I was in the area, so I thought I'd have a look, and I was really in the market for a new intertidal site to train some of my volunteers. Sally still comes along occasionally, but yeah, I've kind of taken over her field work. We don't bother with the counting the fish. I know nothing about that, but we should probably focus on that at some point. So we went there in October. We returned again. Sally and I decided it was a really good place for doing community archaeology, and as you can see, we've got a range of people here. Spot the redheads. They're all related. So there's a whole family, there's a family of homeschooled kids, and they just brought the whole family along. We've got university students, we've got retired people, NAS members, non-members, divers, non-divers. A whole group of people came along in October, because apparently we did a good job of convincing everyone else that it was a really fascinating site and worthwhile getting up before dawn to get the good tides. So we managed to assemble a group of people of all different skill levels. Some of them needed training in how to do 2D survey, just using the basic tape measures. Some of them were a little bit more excited by the drone work that we have down here. And luckily one of our volunteers has a drone and a license to use it, so we've got some really great footage from the drones of the beach, because it's a 5-mile beach that we're working on. And I really get my steps up whenever we go working on in Sandwich there. So it's really good to have kind of an overall picture of from the drone. Not only did we do the field work, go and do intertidal field work, we also did some training in the afternoon just to make sure that everyone really knows what they're doing. So I've got a trusty, this is my fake shipwreck. It travels in the back of my car. It's very portable, very useful. It can be set up in all sorts of different configurations, and it's very handy for training people in a nice, safe environment when you're not constantly looking behind you to see if the tide's about to come in. And it's very satisfying for people to kind of work there as a team. So here you can see the family here, but these people have never met each other apart from that. So they're all working together as a team. They're drawing up their 2D survey results, and then here is the great satisfaction of seeing all of the different segments of the shipwreck matched together perfectly. It was a great moment, and actually I was quite relieved. And they were relieved too. So lots of training was happening there, and we've got photogrammetry training here. We also got a surveyor who's a volunteer, and he brings his expensive total station equipment because we can't afford that, and giving tutorials into the night. So we really provided a rounded experience, and a great sense of team camaraderie was established. We're all pointing at the amazing archaeology that you can see out at the beach, and bribery with pizza also helps as well. Here is a video that was created as promotion for the next time we went back.
Being a complete newbie with archaeology, it's been wonderful just to get an insight into what archaeology is all about, especially when it's to do with the marine environment.
Investigating the wrecks on the Sandwich foreshore has been amazing. I didn't know they were here.
I've learnt to observe, look, and actually find an interest in any little thing that might be on that beach. I've started to look at the beach in a completely different way.
I can honestly say this has really been mind-blowing. It's been a really enriching week. Thank you so much.
And of course we went back. We decided, we were so excited, so enthusiastic. We went, let's go back in February after the winter storms and see what's happened there. And do you know what? I got sunburnt. It was all those crazy, freaky, it was snowing one day, it was bright sunshine the next. Still, dawn was involved. So here we are with our briefing. You can see Sarah there all rugged up in the middle. I'm telling everyone what our task is going to be. We've got some on-site total station survey happening, and luckily we have lots of friends. So this is Jack. He is from Southampton University, and he has fancy equipment that he brings along with him. So this is an RTK, and he was giving an on-site tutorial on how to use that. So we've got some really great geo-reference for all of our sites as a result of both the total station and the RTK equipment. So you can see that our volunteers are getting a really wide experience of different techniques that can be used. But once again, we always go back to basics, and I've got my fake shipwreck out, and we're doing our practice, and then there's the proud Cheesley family with their shipwreck, holding up their shipwreck on top of the shipwreck that they recorded, but also we were using the opportunity to train the trainers. So this is actually one of my assistant tutors who was kind of being taught how to teach at the same time. So it was just a really great site, great facilities for us to do all sorts of things, which is why we keep going back. We do evening lectures, very informal, as you can see, we're all kind of sitting around the coffee table, but this is Jack giving an RTK lesson, and Sally giving us some GIS equipment training. Once again, happy faces, pointing at the archaeology. It's a great team to work with every time we go back. And what winter storms? We didn't have any winter storms, so we decided to go back to see what the summer would do. So we did the September. We thought, let's go back in September, more guarantee for nice weather. That through. So it's dawn on Sunday, 29th of September, when Sandwich flaps. Normally it's a lovely, glorious sunrise, but not today. But yet we're still out here doing a fieldwork survey, trying to find evidence of shipwrecks. Despite the fact that it's stinging rain on my face, we're walking south, so I can't wait to walk back north again, but it won't hurt so much. This is archaeology in reality for me. So we persevered, the volunteers were just fantastic, and what was happening is by the time we were doing this training, we were already having people learn new skills and then get so good at it that they were able to transfer those skills. So we've got Christian being a bit of a computer IT guy there with his multiple computer screens there. He got really good at doing photogrammetry while he was working with us, and so now he's actually teaching people how to do the photogrammetry, so passing the skills on, which is really great. And one of the surprising things about September was that Citizen had finally been reborn. So we had Lara and Lawrence. Woo! We had Lara and Lawrence come and join us, and that was really fantastic. Once again, pizza featured, happy faces, really great teams working together. So September was a great hit, and we thought, February, why not? Why not go back in February? We probably won't get great weather like we did last time, and I was right. So thank you very much to Lara for taking this gorgeous photo of our little team that we had in February this year. It was amazing the difference in the seabed, and so that the sediment levels totally changed. So the winter storms do actually affect how the sediment levels change. So I suppose you're probably wanting to know what we've actually found so far after 5 seasons, five stints to this site on this 5-mile beach. We found a lot of shipwrecks. We found 10 shipwrecks. Most of them are kind of deposited nicely on their keels and just disintegrated, and that probably means that they're abandoned and then just fell apart as they were sitting there. This is the only one that's actually kind of on its side, so we think that might have been an actual wrecking event. And we've got 1 plane. So that's got quite good records for it already, so we don't need to worry about that. But these are all mysteries. Don't know. We We don't know anything. They range from 14 to 30 metres. They're wooden. We've recorded them a lot, but we don't know their stories yet. We also found a lot of isolated finds that just washed up. Some of them remain. This barrel keeps on appearing, but lots of these other things just they just wash away, and actually we can track some of them moving from day to day. So we record them in situ, we record what they look like and their positions, and then just leave them where they are, except for the lovely clay pipe over there and this intriguing little copper piece. We've raised those, we've brought them back, and we're going to do some research on them. But we only brought them back 2 weeks ago, so we haven't had time to do anything with them yet. Stay tuned. We also found this really intriguing artefact, quite large artefact in February, and really quite interesting to work on. And this is what we think it is. We think it's a rudder, and if you see, that's what it looks like. Rudder in a more appropriate rudder orientation. We had a great time probing into the sand and seeing what it actually looked like. Without actually being able to see it, we could just probe it and kind of brush away things. Because of course the tide was coming in, so we didn't have much time. The most intriguing thing that we found so far is, Lara, calm down. It's all right, I was getting very excited. It's the wooden stakes. The wooden stakes, these little things here, they're everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And you have to line up with kind of the sunlight, so that's why dawn is really good. You can line up and you can see that they actually do form patterns, they form lines. And just, there's so many of them, so we've done lots of geolocating of them. So we kind of could see, oh yeah, there's a line of them there, there's a line of them there, but we couldn't really get a picture of what was happening until we got them all geolocated into this map here. So you can see that they do actually form little triangles and perhaps fish traps. But Lara's got lots of work to do, and she's going to solve this mystery. She's definitely going to solve this mystery. So we've got this, oh crumbs. We've got this lovely GIS that we've got overlaid with the 10 shipwrecks, the plane, and the fish traps, potential fish traps. But what's even better is that one of our volunteers is an IT guru. We used to work for Google, and he's using his skills for good, not evil now. And so he has created this interactive map. Take note of this website down here. It will be very exciting for you. If you ever happen to be in Sandwich Flats, you can put it on your phone, and you can geolocate where you are, and you can go and find all of our shipwrecks and lots of stakes. And then maybe you can tell us what you think about them. But it's really great because I have to admit, I love a good shipwreck. After a while, they all tend to look like the other. So it's really good to be able to kind of press a button and go, I'm at number 3. Oh no, number 9. Okay, yep, good. So that's very handy. And it's wonderful that we have these volunteers that can bring their own skill sets and just go with it. I didn't ask, you just knocked it up one night and said, look what I've done. Fantastic, thank you very much. The thing that we haven't really cracked yet is actually working with the locals. There's locals there, they've got a Facebook page, they love reporting what they've found, and they love asking questions, who knows what this is, but they don't want to engage with us or other people that might actually be able to help them work out what it is and teach them to learn about these artefacts. They find some really great stuff. So we're still working on that. But we have managed to befriend 2 of the locals. This gentleman here is a local councillor. He is doing great things for maritime heritage. Tony is always fantastic. I get all sorts of reports from him all the time. This gentleman over here behind the bar is also very useful. He owns a microbrewery. Seeing as he came and visited us on the beach and was telling us about his finds, including this fabulous flagon, we thought it was only fair to go and visit him. So we went to the microbrewery and had dinner there, and looked at all of the wonderful stuff that he's brought, and then decorated his pub with. So it's a tough job being a community archaeologist sometimes. That you've just got to do what you can. We're also trying to work with the locals to do some more research, see what they have. So we're going to Deal Museum, Sandwich Museum, working with them to see if they have historical records, and then to see if they can, the Sandwich Museum is going to help us mount a display when we've got some things to show later on in probably next year. And so it's really good to be working with the local communities a little bit more. And online resources. This is a fabulous 1920s photos of Sandwich Beach. It doesn't get that busy anymore. It still gets quite busy, but yeah, it'd be good to see what else is online resources for us. So what have we achieved so far? 5 fieldwork sessions, 13 days in the field, 40 volunteers and archaeologists have been involved. No wonder I'm tired. We've got just kind of corralling them all on this 5-mile beach. It's exhausting. 58 archaeological site records written. I always make sure people fill in their paperwork when they come back from site. We've got 7 photogrammetry models. We've got 10 unidentified wooden shipwrecks, 1 B-17 bomber, 20 loose finds, and hundreds of stakes. We've got to work out what these mean. So the mysteries to be solved. What are these shipwrecks? Can we actually locate, can we correlate the historic records with these historic wrecks? And we're hoping to do that in March and maybe later when we return in October. The stakes. Lara, over to you. That's your job. You can work that out for us. And also the sand levels have changed a lot. So here is just one shipwreck. This is our main shipwreck. It's the first thing you see when you come onto the beach, number one. And you can see it's changed. June 2018, October 2018, February 2019, February 2020. The sand levels are constantly changing. I'm really intrigued as to what Ted was just saying about monitoring the sand levels. We're going to be there you are. We're going to be doing that as well, and so really seeing how the sand levels have changed on this beach. In the 3 years I've been going to Sandwich Flats, I can already see we used to have a big steep section close to shore, and then slope further out, and now it's all just kind of blending into one thing, which makes it a lot easier to walk back after the end of your field work, but I'm sure that it's not good for the environment. The opportunities to be realised are just training. It's a perfect site for training, so as many people who want to learn skills, it's a really safe environment to work in, and we've got lots of connections there, places that we can do really good training. And now the opportunities are for you. We're going back in March. Who wants to come? You can do, yay! We're going to do walkover surveys, 2D measured surveys, GPS recording, wreck conservation assessments, citizen training is going to happen on the Tuesday and Wednesday, photogrammetry, beach level monitoring, site recorder practice. We're going to use the Citizen app, we're going to use our app, archival research, collecting local stories. That's going to be an interesting one. We always have people coming up to us on the beach, and there's lots of good stories, but they don't always correlate. So we've got to work out what's the truth and what are the tales. So that will be quite entertaining. And anything else we can think of. So we'll just be using the 6 days that we're out there for a lot of training, a lot of interesting field work. So there you have it, they're the details, 9th to the 13th of March. If you don't feel like coming out for training but want to actually see what it's all about, we're just having an open day on the 14th. You'll be pleased to know the first tour does not start until 9 o'clock. So that's much more civilised. Thankfully the tides have been a bit more obliging this time. So please contact us if you want to come and be part of the field work, and hopefully we'll see you there. Thank you very much.